All right, guys, so State of the Game just ended. I just got off stream from watching it, and the changes today were monumental, bro. Monumental. They are changing so much stuff for the better, and it's gonna bring a lot of people back to the game. We're gonna deep dive into everything that was talked about on State of the Game today, so this might be a bit of a long video, but I want to break this stuff down for you guys. So before we get into this video, make sure you drop a like and hit that sub button if you've been enjoying the content on the channel. So now the things that were went over on State of the Game today, where these big changes were implemented, had to do with brand sets, gear sets, named items, a new loot pool targeting system, and recalibration and crafting also had some huge changes. Now we're gonna start off with the brand sets. Brand sets now have items in all slots. That pretty much means that you're not searching for something that doesn't exist. So let's say if you wanted a Murakami mask with, you know, health and skill power and a talent on there, it'll come with the talent now. So those holsters that don't have talents but have 2 attributes and stuff like that, everything is coming with items in all slots. So everything will have attributes and talents. Every piece of gear will have attributes and talents now, and that's dope because it brings a little bit more diversity to the build making world. It's gonna help us be able to run a lot of different stuff, except for just, you know, one brand set because of a certain amount of mod slots and this here and this that. So that's a really good change. Going into the gear sets, this is where it starts to get crazy. You only need 4 pieces now to reach the max bonus for the gear set. So there's no longer 5 or 6 piece bonuses. All you need is 4, like back in the Division days. So for example, a 2-piece True Patriot that gives you the 10% damage to armor, for example, that could probably only require 1 piece. They're pushing the barriers of build making and diversity now, and they're actually gonna make it fun to loot and make builds again, and I'm gonna get into that later. Now, as far as the gear sets that you can get from the raid, they're gonna be available in the loot pool now. But here's the thing, for the chest and the backpack, they will actually have high-end talents now for those raid gear sets. But the ones with the high-end talents are only available to get from the raid. But now they're adding all the raid gear sets into the loot pool, so you don't necessarily have to play the raid to obtain these raid gear sets. But if you want the best versions of them, you still have to play the raid, which I think is reasonable. You know, people still want the raid gear sets. They don't want to have to, you know, because the Eagle Bear is already locked behind the raid. So this is a good change for, you know, PvEers and stuff. Now you guys can go out and farm the open world, farm wherever, and be able to get these raid gear sets to take into the raid and use them, or even use them outside of the raid. So I think that's a pretty good change as well. Now the next topic that we have that was talked about today on State of the Game is named items, and that goes for weapons and gear. Now they will be adding named gear pieces into the game. So named brand set pieces, which will have their own unique talents. They're reworking named weapons to be a little bit better than your regular weapon. It's not gonna just be an AUG with a name to it. You know, it's not just gonna be a name and a random color anymore. They're actually gonna have unique talents that only come on that gun, that are locked to that gun, that you cannot recalibrate off of. But those other talents on the gun are still able to be recalibrated. And I think this is dope because named weapons are actually gonna be, they're gonna mean something now. It's gonna mean something for you to get a named weapon now, instead of you just saying, oh, it just has a cool name. You know what I mean? They're actually gonna have specific talents, and a talent that may be better than a regular talent. So let's say, for example, if you had Optimus on an assault rifle, and you know, Optimus gives you a certain amount of damage when your magas run out. Now this named weapon can have an upgraded version of Optimus to where you get more damage, or you know, stuff along that nature. So I'd imagine that they're gonna do this for a lot of the weapon talents in the game, because they're adding a total of 35 new named items into the game. I want to be clear on this. This is all that was talked about today on State of the Game. It's not 100% confirmed that it will be coming into the game, because there is a PTS and a multi-phase PTS that they have to go through, and you know, things will be changed and reworked and stuff like that. So right now, this is what they're saying, but chances are it's not all gonna make it into the official, you know, TU6 update. But we're not gonna 100% confirm this stuff for coming into the TU6 update, which is actually coming in October. So they didn't specify when in October, they just said TU6 will be here in October. So that is dope. The loot pool has been completely reworked. They made crazy changes to the loot pool, and all these changes are huge for the division. But this is crazy right here. They have a new loot targeting system, and what this does is it's gonna narrow the loot pool to what you need exactly. I'm gonna play a little clip here that they played on the State of the Game, which shows you now have named zones and main missions, and they have specific loot drops for certain times. Gear brands, mods, weapons, all of the stuff in the loot pool is now available from different regions on the map, and I think that is a great addition. So now if you need some Providence, you can go up to this little area and know that you're farming over here, you're gonna get some guaranteed Providence pieces. If you need Gila, you can go over here and farm this area. If you need an assault rifle, you can go over here and farm this area, and you know you're gonna get a guaranteed piece from that area of what you're looking for. And that's perfect, so it doesn't feel like just an endless grind for loot that's pointless and stuff that you don't need, and you don't have to rely completely on RNG to get those pieces. You can now go to a certain region, farm that region heavily, and know that you're going to be guaranteed that brand set or that type of weapon that you're looking for. So it makes the grind less excruciating, and that is dope. I commend them for this change. That is amazing, bro. And I'm telling you, a lot of these changes are going to bring the player base back. Now, Recalibration has a new user interface. They are somewhat going back to the Division 1 style, to where if you want to recalibrate a piece, a list shows up of the things that can be recalibrated for that. But they're keeping with how Division 2 recalibration kind of is already, to where if you want to roll something, you do have to sacrifice something with that talent on it. So instead of having to search through your gear to see what talents you have that are available, a list will pop up of everything that you have that is available to be recalibrated, and you could just choose from that list and pick right there. That makes it a lot easier. You know what I mean? That makes it a lot easier. And like I said, they're kind of reverting back to the old Division 1 style for recalibration, but not completely, because you still have to sacrifice a piece of gear or a weapon with that talent on there to be able to recalibrate. An even bigger change with recalibration is that you can now swap different color attributes. So you can change a red for a blue for a yellow, a blue for a red. You can change firearms for stamina or armor and stuff like that, and that is gonna make room for even more build diversity. If you need a certain attribute, or you need like one more blue or one more yellow, you can change out ones that you don't need to get that perfect build that you're looking for, or the perfect amount of attributes you need for those talents that you're trying to unlock for your build. And that is another dope thing that they're gonna be bringing to the game. You know what? I like Nikki, man. I like Nikki. Nikki is that guy, man. Nikki worked on the recalibration for the Division 1, and now he's back and getting it going with Division 2. It took him long enough. I know it sucks that they take so long to make these changes, but ultimately they are learning from their mistakes. They are learning, and they are making the changes that the community wants, in a sense. So another thing with recalibration, you can actually change certain talents for other talents now. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but certain talents on pieces of gear has a little open circle, and then there's other talents with the circle with a little line through it like that. Hopefully I'm doing a good job. You can now swap those talents now. So yes, they're giving us more loot, but at the same time, they're making it easier for you to get what you want on your build by recalibrating and stuff like that. So recalibration, you can say recalibration got a huge buff, because that is dope as well. Like I said, all these changes are going to add to build diversity. It's not gonna be so narrowed down to what people run anymore. People are gonna be branching out to different brand sets now to try different things, and actually incorporating gear sets with their brand sets, maybe a named piece of gear right here with a certain talent and stuff like that. It's gonna bring back diversity in build making for the Division 2, sort of like how Division 1 was with the Ninja Bike. When the Ninja Bike got reworked and came back to the game, build diversity was at an all-time high, because the Ninja Bike made it able for you to swap different builds and use different pieces and stuff like that. And last but not least, we have the changes to crafting and materials. So, and all of these changes are really vital to our gameplay and just our grind, man. They're shortening the grind for us. It's still gonna be a grind, but they're making it less boring, you know what I mean? So as far as crafting, they raise material caps. You get more materials from NPC drops. When you're full on materials, no more materials will drop. So instead of having a bunch of little lines all over the, you know, all over Solar Farm because you're full on materials, that's gonna go away. Even though, you know, it's a small change, but it's still more pleasing to the eyes. So you don't have to see all this stuff around and you're running around. Oh, what is this? Oh wait, I'm full. You know what I mean? They're just not gonna drop anymore. So you're gonna know you're full, and that's that. they're also going to offer both of the types of materials that you can get from one box. So if you guys know the little orange box that gives you steel, it also gives you titanium, but it's kind of a, you know, if eat your or when you loot the little bag, you either get steel or you either get titanium. Now you're gonna get both. So you're gonna get steel and titanium. So now farming materials is gonna be a little bit easier. You're gonna be able to get more of the materials because they raise the cap on the materials, and you're gonna be getting more from each box as you're looting. So solar farm is gonna be even better now, all thanks to Nikki. They're also lowering the cost of material use for crafting, and that goes with brands and stuff like that as well. So now when you're at the crafting table and you're crafting stuff, the amount of materials that is required for you to craft this certain piece or mod or, you know, piece of gear has been lowered. And that's dope because now it's actually worth it to farm materials again, because you don't feel like you have to farm for 45 minutes and then only roll one thing or craft two things, and then you have to go farm for another 45 minutes just to get those materials back. Now crafting is going to be actually a little bit more worth it. They also made some changes with the blueprints as well. So now if you are, you know, close to finishing all your blueprints, you've done a bunch of control points, you're not getting blueprints from control points anymore, and you don't know, you know, where these missing blueprints are, they're actually going to show you which ones you're missing and how you need to obtain them. So if you're going for that max, you know, perfectionist stuff and you want all the blueprints, now you're going to be able to see which ones you don't have. And for everybody who still doesn't have the sturdy mag and all that stuff, you're going to be able to see that you don't have it and see the ways you can obtain that throughout the world. So all of these changes are crazy and monumental to the game. They're gonna increase the player base, and that's a fact. Hopefully all of these changes can make it into the final game. I know some things are gonna be worked on during the PTS a little bit, which is starting soon. I'm not sure if the PTS is gonna be multi-platform. It might just be on PC again, which I think that's the route they're gonna go. So hopefully enough people go over to PC, hop on that PTS and try everything out so we can get these changes to come into the game, man. I appreciate you guys for watching the video. Comment down below what you guys thought of all of these changes, man. Are they good? Are they bad? Are you gonna come back to the game to try it out? Let me know down in the comment section. Make sure you drop a like and hit that sub button if you enjoyed the video. I will catch y'all in the next one. Deuces.
What you fuck niggas saying? Glock in the party, I be strapped like a gay bitch. Niggas lane changer, don't know where they lane is. I carry big bills, nah nigga, I ain't changing. Slide down, little nigga, that's a trespass. Name the whip, rock with them straps, we wreck that. Throw a dime with a Glock like a chest pass. A nigga run up.